Harness the Power of 3D is an event hosted by Vis360 and partners, which educates businesses on how to maximize customer engagement, conversion, and sales by upgrading from boring and static 2D marketing to using new immersive and interactive 3D marketing weapons. Our world is constantly evolving, and of course, media is evolving too. Your customers are now demanding richer, more engaging experiences from their devices, and there is a great opportunity for you to harness these new technologies, such as virtual displays and virtual showrooms, to capture their attention when on your website and in your physical showrooms. So keep watching if you want to innovate in your industry and launch your marketing and sales to maximum heights.
In the context of tonight, media is what we're looking at, and when you look at the future of media, everything's digital. It's all moving online. Like, everyone now is immersed in their phones, they're most immersed in their devices, and when you look at the future of online media, the future is interactivity. It's 3D, it's 360. It's not static 2D anymore. So that's what we're looking at, is harnessing that interactive 3D, 360 content. Which is where all your customers are, all the consumers are now living and breathing in their phones and their devices using VR headsets. So that presents an extraordinary opportunity for us to use those technologies to improve our business. So when you look at online digital marketing, the key now is it's not enough to just be found. You actually need to engage people. You need to connect with them. And that's how you convert. You can't just put up a website anymore. You really need to go to an extra level. And that's where this comes in. And when you look at that, the key to conversion is engagement, and the key to sales is conversion. So it's a pretty simple formula, really. The more you engage people on your website or online through media, the more you're going to convert in terms of leads, therefore the more you're going to sell. So now if we look at the evolution of media, where media has come from and where it's going, go way back in time, even way before the 1600s. It was just text on stones. And before that, it was probably arranging bones on the floor or something like that. But then it's slowly progressed into more broadcast type media, newspapers and magazines, where it started becoming commercialized. It wasn't just about raw communication anymore. And then you move into radio. Again, it's still broadcast. Television added visual element to it, and then the computers really just started making things more interactive. But it wasn't until really the iPhone was really what changed that curve in terms of immersion and times spent in our devices. In a media device, the iPhone was what made it really start ramping up. Obviously, tablets came in around 2010. 2015 was when VR came back again after about a 20-year sleep, 25-year sleep. Augmented reality is around now as well, using similar technologies. And we're moving into the future where it's, there's people are using various buzzwords, but let's just call it mixed reality, essentially where you can wear eyewear. Wearable technology is a huge trend. So imagine you're just wearing a normal pair of glasses or even contact lenses that has sensors and lenses built in that's connected to a computer. Those computers are getting very small. You could literally be here talking to, engaging with someone with no glasses on, using a contact lens and ordering pizza to be delivered to your house while someone's talking. That's where it's headed. It's pretty crazy. Switching between a full virtual world and augmented world where things are overlaid sort of over the real world. When you look at the research companies, the guys that spend millions of dollars looking into this space and really think carefully and analyse where it's headed, they all saying the same thing, that VR is going to be huge. PricewaterhouseCoopers is forecasting it to be as big as Netflix. So in 1 in every sort of 3 households in the US. Obviously, it'll be roughly the same in Australia and most Western countries. I'd imagine it'll be similar everywhere in the world. So that's a pretty big adoption rate. It's probably about as widely adopted as tablets are, which is pretty significant. So if you look at the growth forecast for VR over the next 5 years, obviously VR at the top. This is from PricewaterhouseCoopers. So in terms of marketing, in terms of advertising, where your consumers are going to be spending their time in terms of media and entertainment, you'd be crazy if you're really starting to look at, investing too much into magazines and newspapers. You'd be looking more towards the top. So another reason why this is no fad and it's going to be here and it's going to be here in a big way is that these are some of the biggest companies in the world and they're pouring billions of dollars into this. So what this means is there's a massive shift in terms of media, in terms of creating media. It's shifting from 2D imagery and 2D video. It's shifting towards 3D, interactive 3D and 360 media. So that's essentially what's happening. Whether you're using AR or VR, this 3D content, 3D models is what's being created and used. So that presents an amazing opportunity for businesses to create 3D models of their products so that they can be used online through apps and obviously through VR and AR as well. This is all CGI, computer generated.
The world was on fire and no one could save me but you. It's strange what desire will make foolish people do.
So that's a virtual showroom, and that experience can be had on web, on a mobile app, on a desktop app, and VR as well, and augmented reality. So I don't know if anyone's ever done that while they're walking through a car showroom before, but obviously that's far more effective than just sitting there and imagining what a red paint job would look like with those rims. It's definitely the future. So this is another demo. This is a virtual display for a home builder. I think this one was of a granny flat in Perth. That's a virtual display home. It's a granny flat, so that's why it was quite straightforward with the design. But that can be published to your website, custom branded. That was actually what was shown there was the desktop application, which is the same as what we have here. So that can be used on a desktop, a PC, obviously a large touchscreen, which is a great way of using that in your displays or your office. So yeah, again, like that's far more from a customer's perspective, being able to walk through the house like that and be able to customize it to the nth degree without having to drive around to all the display suites, without having to drive around to all the product companies is obviously the future. Like it's not even the future. I mean, it's effective. It's most effective now for a consumer, and the builders that are using this technology are really benefiting from it, especially the ones that want to provide great, services and experience to their customers. So when to use virtual displays can be used at many points during the marketing, sales, design, and after-sales process. It's definitely the strongest in the marketing and sales side of things, but you can use it during concept design. Of course, if it's a large project, a customer having that experience during the concept design is really going to enable them to understand the design better than a set of floor plans. That's obvious. So it's very effective there. And the larger the project, the more important I think having that experience is. You can walk through the hallway or you could walk through a room, realize actually, hang on, there's a lot of room here. We don't need this much room. Let's move that wall this way even by 100 mil. That 100 mil could then enable you to build that toilet that you wanted to build. You can't really have that with necessarily with a set of floor plans. So that's why it's important. Pre-DA and planning, for the same reasons, I think it's very effective. Interior design, you can see how effective it is for that. But then once you finish it, once you have those customization, you can save that model and then put it back into your sales and marketing. So if you do start using this technology, you can understand how it's almost like this, it sort of feeds itself in terms of your marketing. So it's important to understand that there's different technologies here. There's web-based VR, as you can call it, or web-based virtual displays, which works in any web browser, can be embedded in your website. There's desktop app-based or app-based, which is mobile phone app or a desktop app. And then there's VR headset-based content. So with the accessibility, web content is obviously very accessible. Everyone's got web on their devices. But it's not quite as immersive. It doesn't have the same level of engagement or immersiveness as VR does. On the flip side, VR is extremely immersive, but not everyone has a VR headset, so it's not that accessible. So it's kind of important to understand when and where to use these technologies in your marketing campaigns if you're using it for marketing. Web is obviously the most important to get it out there in social media and through your website, but then you can draw them through call to actions. You can draw them through using an experience on your touchscreen in your display, or at home they can download the app from home, and then you can invite them to have an experience using a VR headset. This describes just a standard sort of marketing channel with a lead funnel, again, of how you can use this technology. So we create the content up the top. Let's just say it's a house model, or it could even be a kitchen model, virtual display or a virtual showroom. So we then publish that into web, app-based, PC app, and then say a VR headset. And the middle row there, it shows you where you would use that content. So web-based would be predominantly used in social media and on your website. Obviously, you can use that in conjunction with radio campaigns, TV or print. Draw them to your new amazing virtual displays that you've just created. App-based, PC and touchscreen. That's great for trade shows, private events, and obviously your office and display suites as well. And VR headsets is the ultimate experience for someone. Essentially, all this stuff, what it does is it opens up your funnel, because you're engaging people on a better level. You're getting more leads, and that's the key to conversion, especially online. There's a direct correlation between engagement and conversion. So if you want to really build out your lead funnel, that's the way to do it. This just runs through some hardware options. So PC and touchscreen, anything essentially with a good graphics card and a reasonable amount of RAM, it will work. These are some examples that you can buy. The Dell, also HP, make a really good all-in-one PC that you can use, so it doubles up as a touchscreen as well. So you can put that on a stand and turn it into like a touchscreen station, a laptop as well. That's for, if you've got sales agents or you want to go on the road and show them your projects or your homes on a desktop application like the one we have set up here. That's what those are for. In terms of VR, so there's really two brands really that we see as leading VR space at the moment, Oculus and HTC Vive. These are the main Oculus hardware at the moment. So Oculus Quest, the one in the middle, that's the most recent one, and that's awesome. Like that, I highly recommend, if you're going to go VR, I highly recommend going Oculus Quest. Oculus Rift S is also amazing. If you're going to have a fixed VR station or something set up in your showroom, I would go Oculus Rift S. And if you want to take something on the road, I would go Oculus Quest. HTC Vive, pretty damn close. I would say the Oculus Quest is definitely better than HTC Vive Focus. But HTC Vive Pro is awesome as well, arguably just as good, if not better, than Oculus Rift S. Slightly different price points. Just go back, sorry, in case anyone missed it. So HTC Vive Focus is a mobile. This is mobile VR. So what it means is, the main difference between these two, mobile VR means everything's contained in the actual headset unit itself. So you don't need a PC. You can actually take the headset wherever you like. It's drawing on the processing power that's within the headset, so obviously the quality is less, but it's much cheaper, it's much lighter, it's portable. Whereas the HTC Vive Pro is tethered to a PC, but the experience is far greater than the mobile version. And that was the same with Oculus as well. So Oculus Go and Oculus Quest are mobile version of VR, Oculus Rift is fixed. Okay, so this is another virtual showroom. This one's showing a bathroom and kitchen. So again, like the previous ones, it's just a much better experience. It's 3D, it's lifelike, it's interactive. You can customize, you can go through all the company's products. So whether you're a home builder or a kitchen company or a bathroom company, we can load your products up into a database, build a virtual showroom, which is what those two rooms were, and enable them to go through all your product range. So it's far more effective than just looking at something on a big wall, sample wall, or a sample pad and trying to imagine what it looks like. That's not good. So that's what you can do now. Integrated into your website, desktop app, PC, VR as well. So a good question is how much do you really care about potential customer experiences engagement? How much do you invest into ensuring your potential customers get the best possible experience during the sales pipeline, which is a time when they are deciding whether to investigate your product versus multiple other competitors' products. So again, when people are online, especially when they're sitting there scrolling through doing their research phase in terms of their customer journey, when they're at that early phase, if you're impressing them, engaging them with this type of media, you're far likely to hook them in and bring them to you, as opposed to your competitors. And if your competitors are doing it, well, they're the ones more likely to capture that audience. Just a statement by someone at Google. Apparently, you're competing with the best experience your customer has ever had. So, I mean, it's actually, it's technically possible that you can provide an experience that is the customer's best experience they've ever had. When you think about someone's most memorable experience, I mean, it's the birth of their child, getting married, whatever, it is possible to actually provide an experience pretty damn close to that. So that kind of puts it into perspective of how far you can actually go to win someone over if you really want to. Just another good one-liner for business, for marketing. It's better to have 100 people love you than to have 1 million people like you, which is pretty common these days with social media. But it's true. Like you'd want to have 100 loyal, engaged, sort of connected, well-matched customers than having 1 million tire kickers. They just waste your time. They cost everyone money, and they don't really help. So I think again, by providing those engaging experiences, that's how you sort of recognise who's really engaged in your product, and it provides a better match. So yeah, virtual tours. Google's done a lot of research and has a lot of data and statistics on the effectiveness of virtual tours in particular in terms of on conversion. So because they've been doing virtual tours for years, obviously with Street View, but they have something called Business View, which allows you to, you can search online for a business now, or especially restaurants and things, and actually drop straight down into the building and take a fully, a tour through the building, watch videos and things like that. So they have a lot of data on that. They know that people are twice as likely to click on those ads, those listings that have a virtual tour, which is a pretty big stat. So that's a 100% increase on engagement. So virtual tours for business listings, it's very similar to other things like builders or people in the building industry, or that have a product or a service or a place where you can provide them a virtual tour. You're likely going to get those kinds of that kind of an impact on your conversion rate. And as long as you maintain a good connection, as long as you have a good sales funnel, it's potentially that 100% increase in conversion can translate into 100% conversion in sales. Potentially. 2 out of 3 people want more virtual tours. This is more data from their survey that they did. Return on investment. So obviously one of the main questions is if you invested $5, $10, $20, $100,000 into this media, what's your sort of return on investment? Well, considering that there's a lot of data which says it sort of doubles your conversion rate. Well, depending on what product you sell, but if you thought about, okay, well, if I invested say $20,000 into this and it doubled your conversion rate online, you should be able to start working out what your return on investment is on that investment. If you integrate the media in the right way. So invest in virtual displays, for example, as a builder, can lead to doubling of your sales conversion. Just a quick demo, virtual displays. This actually has me in it, so apologies for the start, but it's a good video. It takes you through a lot of different features, I think, of virtual displays.
G'day, it's Jake here from Vis360. If you're designing a new home, renovation or development, wouldn't it be handy if you could walk through your new design and experience it in lifelike 3D before it's built? We never buy a new car, boat or caravan without first experiencing it, by sitting in it, walking through it, or even interacting with it. So it seems crazy that we still risk hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even millions of dollars, on something that needs to last 30 years or longer without first experiencing it in lifelike 3D. Vis360's virtual interactive tours enable you to freely walk through your design in stunning lifelike 3D, right from your mobile phone, laptop or PC. You can truly experience the space and layout and customise the interior and exterior selections on the fly, changing everything including the floors, the walls, kitchens, bathrooms, cabinets. Even the furniture can be changed. You can flip up into the floor plan mode and then drop down into another room and continue exploring. You can even walk outside and see the landscaping and then change the front facade. Vis360 can create the ultimate 3D experience so you can immerse yourself in your design wherever you are, saving you thousands of dollars in wasted construction costs down the track, and helping you optimise the design layout and the interior and exterior finishes as well. You see, consumers are now demanding richer, more immersive experiences online, instantly from their devices. And forward-thinking, innovative architects, designers and DIY builders are using the latest in 3D design tools to build better homes and buildings. Vis360 virtual interactive tours can be easily accessed online via the web and the Pro version can be easily downloaded within minutes using our desktop and mobile apps. And if you're wanting the ultimate VR experience, we can also publish your virtual tour to the latest VR headsets, including Oculus, Vive, and Samsung Gear. All of this means you can now truly immerse yourself in your designs remotely, from anywhere in the world, without having to actually drive out to a design meeting or read boring 2D plans which are often lacking vital details and very hard to read and understand. And getting started is super easy. All we need is your floor plans and a short brief, and we can start building you a virtual interactive 3D tour in a matter of weeks, and it's surprisingly cost effective too. So if you want to optimise your design, minimise construction costs, and simply have a better building design experience, then give Vis360 a call on 1300 55 7705 or go to vis360.com today for a free consultation and quote. Vis360, changing the way we design buildings in 3D. So I just corrected that video. You actually go to Elite Virtual Media for any if you want to get a quote or get consultation. Brett's obviously happy to come out and see you and talk to you free of charge. No obligations, like even if you want some advice or just information about how to start a project or what to do, he will be happy to come out and see you. We're in partnership, as mentioned before. So Elite Virtual Media, Vis360, where we empower businesses to plan, create and publish 3D and VR experiences, as mentioned before. We can provide a range of services. The main ones that we provide are up the top, but we can do a range of things if you needed to integrate this into your website or build a custom website or a custom app. We can do that. Even if you wanted to get 360 photography done of your existing showrooms or existing displays, we can arrange that. We can essentially build anything that's interactive in 3D. Works on all devices, so one thing that sets us apart is we specialise in publishing things to web, mobile apps, desktop app and VR. We understand that VR is amazing, but it's in terms of accessibility, it's still nowhere near as accessible as web. So web is still very important, and our technology works on all the main devices. These are some of the brands we've worked with in the past. Some big brands in there, various industries, from baby products to hotels to military bunkers, gyms, beer companies. We can do all sorts of things. Definitely specialists though. Our product, it seems to work best in the building industry. There's no doubt that architecture, visualizing a house and house products is just like a match made in heaven for this technology. So that's essentially the end of the presentation. 3D Wave is coming and we're ready. So I'd like to think that everyone here is ready to start looking into this sector. And again, thanks Brett for organising and inviting everyone tonight. Done a great job.
I think just being able to walk through a home and see it, huge value really, and being able to change the colours and the fittings and the rest of it. So I think, very valuable.
I mean, it's a technology that's becoming more accessible, and it's got the potential, I think, to transform the way we do learning and teaching in certain disciplines like architecture. And what we've seen today or tonight with the presentation around the building industry, seeing that potential and seeing potentially the gap closing to being able to access and use that technology in a meaningful way in the learning and teaching environment. In architecture in particular is really cool, I think.
People want things now and to be able to do it on your phone, on your laptop, without having to wait, having to drive around and go to homes is very valuable, yeah.